Chris Osborn.
Chris Osborn. All right, hey YouTube, here with Chris Osborn, first place at Fort Worth Regional, and he was playing what deck?
I was playing Geargia, just pure Geargia. I just had an interest in building the deck because one of my friends had the stuff extra, and he just let me borrow the engine and everything. I put it together with my own staples. I got a lot of advice from my friend Johnny Lee, y'all probably already know from writing articles and such. But you know, and he was also really good to me throughout the day. Every time I would ask him about like siding against certain things, he would always be really patient with me and always explain just why something was good and why something was bad.
Johnny's good like that.
Along with his advice, and sometimes when it had to be my own personal intuition on certain matchups that I didn't even know I was going to play against, that's what got me up to first today.
Sweet. Well, let's just dive right into the profile. Let's go ahead and go through everything. We'll discuss choices and stuff after we get through it all.
Of course. I ran 3 armor. I ran the standard Geargia engine, 3 armor, 3 arsenal, 3 accelerator, 3 MK2, 1 Geargiano. Then for spells, I ran triple Upstart Goblin, triple Mystical Space Typhoon, 1 Book of Moon, and 1 Mind Control for the mirror match or any match that was really running a lot of rank 4 or level 4 monsters.
Awesome.
And I ran triple Geargia gear for obvious reasons.
Kind of have to.
Yeah. I ran triple Fiendish Chain. Yeah. Triple Blackhorn. You can't play any less. It's really good against every single matchup, especially game 1 when they don't know what you're playing. I played 2 Wiretap. Let's do 7 tools. 7 tools is completely degenerate. When Johnny told me that 7 tools was like completely obsolete, I kind of I didn't really think much of it at first, but I played it today, and it was just really good.
Wiretap is infinitely better in my opinion.
I actually lost a game to my own Wiretap, but it's gonna happen. I Wiretapped a warning, and he drew the warning later in the game, and I had to play a bunch of upstarts that game, so he gained a bunch of life points. But, you know, it's just something that happens. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. But this card did me way better than it did worse. And actually, somebody's fear of Wiretap won me a game, too. He blind spaced into my space, and I blind spaced into his Blackhorn. He had another Blackhorn set, but I had enough resources to just push through and win that turn. Then I ran double Call of the Haunted. I was kind of on the fence about running this, but, you know, like I said, I only put this deck together, like, last weekend. And, you know, I didn't get a lot of chance to test. I only got a few locals. But Call of the Haunted really came in handy all the time. Kind of a tech choice. I mean, I've seen people do it. I've seen people not do it. But I played double Needle Sealing. It was just too good not to run in the main deck, in my opinion. You set armor, you set it, and they try to go off. You just Needle Sealing. I played against 2 Dragon Ruler matches today, and one of them was Heretics. So this thing just pretty much kills Heretics if you use it right. So like if you wait for the right moment, it's a blowout card.
Absolutely.
Were those ever dead?
Occasionally, but for matchups that they were dead against, I would always just side them out.
Okay.
In all the matchups, some card's going to be, unless it's your engine, like some card's going to be dead or...
Alright.
That's why you have a side deck. Then for one-ofs, I played a Warning, a Torrential, a Bottomless, and a Convulse.
The holy quintilleging.
Yeah.
Indeed. And for extra deck, I made some weird choices at the advice of Johnny, but I played 1 Zen Mains, 1 Tempo, Alucard. Actually, in game 1 of my round 9 match, this was the only monster that went for any damage, and it was just pushing over and over again all the time. So that's what won me game 1 of my round 9.
Card's good.
But it's just such an amazing card.
Yeah.
1 Giga Brilliant. I actually never went for it today. I didn't have the need to push for OTKs or anything like that. But I would definitely still run it because it's one of those cards that helps you get over Leo in some cases. Like if you put an Acid Golem on the board, which, you know, I play the Acid Golem as well. But if you use it in combination with the Acid Golem, if you're able to, that gets over Leo pretty easily. And I played Soul of Silver Mountain, which I only brought it out once today, but it was against the guy's Pike while I had a Soul Drain up on the field, and it was just able to bring back the Geargia armor and just let me start plussing it. And then that's it for my rank 3s. For my rank 4s, I played Dweller for obvious reasons. Emerald to make my Geargia gears live again and get that extra draw power into all my traps. Exciton, obvious reasons. I actually don't think I got it off successfully today. I think I summoned it into a Blackhorn when it was literally the only option I had, and I had to take the risk. I played 1 Diamond Dyer. I was on the fence about running it too, but it actually did help me out when round 8 I was playing a Harpy player who played Macrocosmos, and I made my Gear Gigan, and then I made this, and I popped the macro, and the Gear Gigan, like the infinite Gear Gigan combo, was able to, you know, stay off with the regular Geargiano and the accelerator. And on an arc for obvious reasons, 3 gear gigging, and I played the one crazy box. Actually, round 6, game 2, my opponent dropped skill drain on me, and I was just like, okay, cool, crazy box, and he ended up reckless greed locking himself, so he wasn't able to get out of his combos as easily as he thought he, or out of my combos as easily as he thought he could. So his last attempt to win, he had like 1 card in hand, which was a blue ice. He had it off a white stone. 2 dragons engraved. 1 was a tempest and 1 was a flame bell guard. 1 face down and a skill drain. And he ended up spacing the soul drain I had on the field, banishing his only blue eyes in hand and his only other dragon engraved, especially some of the tempest. Tried to activate a wing beat, and I had the compulse, and there was just nothing he could do. Like next turn, I attacked the crazy box and a Geargia arsenal for game. So I definitely play crazy box no matter what.
Awesome. Let's dive into side deck.
Side deck. The interesting thing about my side deck is yesterday, I consulted Johnny a lot about the side deck compared to a lot of things. I ended up cutting 12 cards, like from my original build. The only cards that stayed the same from those were the D-Fissure, the macro, and the soul drain. They're just so good.
The anti-mermail engine.
But one of the decks that I was extremely afraid of today was Boojins with like Royal Decrees. So I was sliding a lot of stuff in to counter their decrees, like just spell answers, like the triple twister to get rid of the decrees, the triple swords of concealing light to to set them and actually be able to run over them. And the thing was, I actually never ended up sighting the swords. I only sighted in the twisters against harpies, but I never saw them because I ended up dueling the harpies in about 10 minutes, I think. But it was good to have them, and also that for a while in the tournament there were some undefeated Noble Knight decks that I was actually really afraid of playing against, especially since some people in my local in San Antonio have been playing it, and it's just really hard to get over. So the Swords of Concealing Light are a really good answer for that deck if you get stuck playing against it.
Absolutely. Did you actually go against any Boojins today?
I did not go against any Boojins today. So...
And it happens when you're XO.
For the traps for my side deck, I ran 2 Trap Tricks, Trap Hole, Nightmare. This won me my round 3 match against the Heretic Ruler deck. It was really close to time when we went into game 3, so I ended up siding out my upstarts. I put these in. I drew it. He didn't draw a lot of monsters, and the only thing he had was to make an M7 with 2 level 6s to bounce my armor. As soon as he activated M7, I flipped this and he scooped.
Are there any other matchups you side that against?
Well, I accidentally sided against my Fire Fist matchup. I was kind of out of it. Like round 9, I meant to side these, the Memory of an Adversaries, because there aren't really a lot of cards in this side deck for Fire Fist.
Yeah.
But I accidentally sided at round 9 for game 2, and it's actually ended up winning me the game.
It's hilarious.
He made a Tiger King instead of pushing for damage, which I would have been able to stop a little bit of the damage because I had a face down Call of the Haunted. But if he had gone for the push like he should have, it would have been 8,000 exactly. But instead, when he Tensu summoned his bear, he ended up exceeding it with the Gorilla, making a Tiger King. As soon as I activated, I just flipped up the Trap Hole Nightmare, and from there it was just...
Why do we play over record?
Oh, we're playing Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare over Heraldry Record. This is actually supposed to be mainly for the Geargia mirror match. I did side it in the Geargia mirror match today too, but didn't get it off. But this, as opposed to Heraldry Record against Geargia and X-Mix timing. So the main thing about that is just so you have the really good answer, so they can't keep their infinite Geargia loop on. And I sided the Memory of an Adversaries for Boojins as well. But I only ended up siding against my Fire Fist matchup that I played round 3, I believe, or it was round 2. And I ended up taking his, he was playing Buffalo, and he was playing Zephyros in the main 2 for some reason. I don't know, just interesting choices. But I took both of them at some points in the game, and I made exceeds with them. I actually lost the game that I used these because I didn't see any monsters besides 1 accelerator. But it was definitely a good choice, and I would have loved to use it against Boojins. Just take their Yamato, exceed with it into whatever you need.
Absolutely.
And I sided 2 debunks, which actually really helped me. My round 6 feature match, talking about feature matches at a regional. My round 6 match, the same one with the Tempest Wingbeater Giant Dragon that I stopped with the Compulse. He tried to summon a blaster from hand while I had the Soul Drain on field, and I just had this set, and it just completely blew him out of the water. And that was it.
Awesome.
Any questions about the...
First big question. 0 hand traps.
I hate hand traps right now. I played my mirror match that I played. He was making a lot of really weird options that I wasn't really a huge fan of with my build. Like he was main decking Thunder King, he was main decking battle traps like Mirror Forces, and he was also main decking Max C's. You know, honestly, the hand traps, you're not guaranteed to be able to drop them against every matchup. You main Max C's and play Boojins, you're not going to get a lot off of it, and it's just going to be completely dead. I mentioned earlier that some cards, like I've acknowledged that some cards are dead against certain matchups, but not completely dead. There are the rare occasions where Needle Sealing can be good against Boojins. There are the rare occasions where it can be good against certain decks that normally wouldn't. But whenever you have Max C, if you play a deck like Boojins, if you play a deck like Fire Fist, you're not going to get a lot off of it, and you're not going to get that big push. You play Valor against certain decks, you're not going to be able to. You're going to be able to use it against some decks, but not a lot. DD Crows, it's good against some options, but not a lot.
So the thing is, Geargia is not a combo deck. So like even if you're guaranteed to play 9 rounds of Mermill matchup, you still don't want Maxi. Like you're not playing a combo deck.
Yeah. Here's another big question. Why didn't you play Soul Charge? A lot of people, I think, are thinking that.
You're on 13 monsters. There were a lot of, contrary to popular belief on how this deck runs, they were very, like, from all of my individual games and matches, there are actually very few games where I would open up an armor, or I would open up a Geargia gear, or both. There were a lot of times where I'd have to grind out, and when you don't have your engine going off like that, Soul Charge just completely conflicts and it's completely dead.
Fair enough. All right. That was all that I had. Any more from you?
That's it.
Big one.
Everyone got to play Dark Hole, but not this guy.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
was
question.
playing Dark Hole at first because I thought you honestly needed an answer for Leo, but it just hurts. There were a lot of times in testing where it would just be stuck in my hand, and literally the only uses I would have for it would be to use it as a 1-for-1 against an obvious set Geargia armor or whatever you'd think it would be. And it was just dead more of the time than not, and it just turned out to be an awful card. And also the other thing I wanted to point out was the absence of Cowboy. And what a lot of people kept saying was, oh my god, you're not playing Cowboy? That's how you get over Leo, by playing, say that's Cowboy, by playing Cowboy and Giga Brilliant. But I don't know. I hate Leo. I think it's such a stupid card, but really all you need against it are the Compulse or the Fiendish Chains in main phase 2. Yep. And you also do run Torrential and Needle Sealing. It's the odd chances that you need it.
You definitely have outs for it. So.
And it was funny because there was a game, my game 1, round 3, actually he soul charged himself down to 400, and he did have the Leo on the field, so literally Cowboy was the one out that I didn't have, but you know, even after that, after testing throughout the day and realizing how little I actually needed Cowboy, you know, I just needed it for that one time to get over the Leo new damage. So
would you swap it out for the Giga in place of the Giga Brilliant, or do you think that Giga Brilliant?
I think Giga Brilliant definitely has more potential because if you flip over a Geargia gear, and you're just doing constant special summons of X's, and you bring out the Giga Brilliant, you OTK.
Fair enough.
All right.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Once again, this was
Chris Osborn. Oh, okay, cool. I was like, what am I supposed to say?
Once again, this is Chris Osborn.
First place.
First place.
And I also have a YouTube channel, if that's all right, if I can shout it
Go
out
ahead.
here.
Shout it out.
I haven't been uploading, but I mean, since I'm getting so much publicity, I guess this would be a good opportunity to have some reason to upload videos more. But it's ChrisIsSoPro, really vain, I guess. I don't know. One of the guys that
first place, obviously you are. So
You're fine.
well, one of the guys at our San Antonio that used to go to our local in San Antonio named his YouTube channel ChrisIsSoPro when he used to play. So it was just kind of a parody of that. But I didn't actually think at the time of making the channel, I didn't actually think that I would ever be like competitive or good at the game.
All right.
So I mean, it's not meant to sound vain. It was just supposed to be making fun with a friend. So
All right.
thank you very much for the profile. Congratulations on first place. Hope you do just as well at Nationals.
thank you.
See ya.